Hi, I'm Dave.
Hi, I'm Robin.
Welcome
To Schoolwide
Download.
Welcome back to Schoolwide Download. I'm Dave.
And I'm Robin. And today we are throwing out the rule book. We're deleting the master schedule and
Get rid of it.
we're asking the question, if you could design a school from scratch, what would it look like?
Wow. So, well, before we start pouring concrete and start putting up walls, let's kind of set the scene, set the stage for our listeners and our viewers.
Okay, so close your eyes. Listeners, you can close your eyes. Pretend you've been given 50 acres and unlimited budget, so money's not an option. And
So it's real world. It's very real world.
Absolutely. Like, budget, no budgets, no levies, nothing. No state mandates, no standardized tests, and no bell schedules. Now,
Okay.
right there, like.
So it sounds dangerous. It sounds expensive. And based on the no mandates, we must be in Antarctica or something like that.
Well, okay,
Because
you have to build a learning environment.
Okay.
So
All right.
let's say 500 kids, so pretty big school. Pretty much, I think the school size that you and I were familiar with teaching in.
Okay.
What is the first thing you're going to build? So not the cafeteria, okay? We're not thinking gym. What are we thinking? What's the first learning space? So don't think about all the outside things.
Okay.
Learning space.
Well, I think a school is a place where you build community.
Okay.
So I think the first thing that comes to my mind would be a part of this 50 acres. I think there should be almost like a town hall, a community meeting center. Now the tech person in me thinks not only should just this be like a common gathering area, like I'm thinking makerspace and just like kind of interact, something that not only is it a hub for the students that attend there, I always think a school should be a hub for the community, that there should be reasons for parents and other community members to be able to access all the amazing that exists inside. So in my mind, I would see this big open, it's not a classroom, there's not doors, maybe there's an espresso, well, that's probably.
You're like speaking right to me. You said involving community.
Some music, coffee.
I'm a big community person, so I think including the community.
No, what I jokingly call no cemetery seating with all the desks in perfect rows, and that's how it is, and it's regimented. It's this free-flowing community.
Pure chaos.
Well, that's how some people might see it.
So you're already thinking outside the box.
Right.
Like you're already going out there. Like you're already thinking like open space, community, everyone welcome. I like it. Well, that's what we're going to be doing today. So you're not thinking like people I've heard for so many years, school's a business. This is not a business.
We're not making lemmings to go work in the factories?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. So this is what we're talking about today. Your dream school if you could build it.
All right. So in talking with, I think we kind of talked before we started on this episode.
This is probably the most excited we've been about an episode.
Yeah. But I think we've both had colleagues that we've worked with over the years, and I don't know if the trigger is frustration. I don't know if the trigger is 2 weeks before spring break, and spring break is in, well, it used to be. It's like in April. Like, you ever have one of those where it was like, when we get back from spring break, there's not much school left, but man, that is a grind until you get there. So I don't know if it's those frustration points, fatigue points, but I think a lot of teachers have had that conversation that, man, you're the Spanish teacher, you're the, like, we should start our own school. We would do it right.
Yeah, we, if my colleagues and friends out there, teacher friends are listening, you know who you are. It was a point of frustration for us. Like we would be at that point of like the breaking point. We've talked about it with like the relationship. Our pod was very close. We were a very close-knit group of teachers for about 12 years in the same building. And we would do that. Like, all right, what's your license? You're you're K3. You've got your admin. You're special ed.
If we only had the time.
Yeah, like we can have
Who's writing the grant?
Where's there a building? Like, let's create a school. So I think everybody's had that dream.
Yeah. So, and I just sharing from my experiences, and I've shared this with you, I kind of got to do this.
Okay, share.
So there wasn't 50 acres.
I was going to say, I would have read about this.
And we really didn't get to do it, I think, as grassroots or as ground level as you did. But when I was teaching at Wentwoods Middle School, this is the early 2000s, we decided to model based on a high school program.
Okay.
That there was an alternative program for the high school students. We came together as a building and said, sometimes to have something like this in place in high school is too late.
Yeah.
We need to intervene sooner at middle school. So we ended up, myself and 3 amazing colleagues who are still my closest or close to the closest colleagues that I have, we got an opportunity to do that.
Did you get a building?
So we did not get a building.
Oh, I was like, wow.
But we got a wing. We got a segment, a dedicated hallway.
Okay.
So we took about 60 students
that
were struggling academically, some, behaviorally, some. They were not already being serviced by an IEP, but they just weren't as successful in school as they had hoped for. And we created a school within a school. We had our own bus that brought and took home.
Who initiated this? Like your administrative team, or was it district? Just curious, because that's like a huge, that puts a lot of like trust in you guys to be able to create that.
It came from the building. I can't remember who actually originally initiated it. But we got a bus for our students in the morning and the afternoon. They came in a little bit later than the rest of the school.
Wow.
All their classes were in this one wing. We had 2 reading and language arts teachers.
Okay.
Because our theory was if you can't read or you can't write, that cripples you in science, that cripples you in social studies. I was social studies science. One of my colleagues was math, and then we had a Scarlet Oaks teacher do kind of like a career exploration. The first year I think we had art as the elective. The second year we had physical education.
So they never left this wing. This
other
was
than the gym. Other than the gym.
Okay. Wow.
We had a separate lunchtime. We got the lunch, and the kids all took their lunch back and ate it in our classrooms with us.
Can I ask how the kids felt? Were they good with this?
Not at first.
Because I mean, I was just thinking, like, I think it's a great idea, and I think it's amazing that they like gave you guys the autonomy to do that. But you're separating them from the rest of the school, so they had to have been a little mad.
We were very clear with how this would work before they signed up to do it.
Do parents obviously have to okay this too? Okay,
absolutely.
Yeah. This is a huge undertaking.
And it was, once we established the culture, it was the most enjoyable about 4 years of teaching I ever had.
How long did it last? About
4 years.
So what ended it? Because I do think the model sounds amazing.
What ends everything?
Funding. So if that's not an issue, this would have continued on.
100%.
Yeah, because I can imagine busing.
Our success with kids performing better academically, behaviorally, and even on the dreaded, from one of our previous episodes, statewide testing.
Yeah.
All their scores improved dramatically, but not enough to justify
the funding,
the cost.
Do you know that's kind of sad? And we're speaking to educators so they know this, that funding cuts some of the best ideas. Like some of the even in our own world, the ESC world, and what we do is coaching, and some of the best ideas get cut because of funding. That's a shame. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I believe the high school program still exists there. But we tried stuff because we were, one of the things...
Did you consider it like as an alternative school kind of idea?
Yeah, I mean, I think inevitably that's what it was.
Yeah.
But then we ran on our own bell schedule.
Wow.
We had because our kids came in a little bit later.
Yeah.
The first, I think, 45 minutes to an hour or so was just all of us We had common planning time, which is
That's what I
always
was just gonna
something
say.
that
Like,
people want.
if I could like dream up my like, if you said that to me, like, okay, you can have a wing and you could do that. I think my first like top priority, it wouldn't be so much about like the curriculum, and it would be the minutes. So like adjusting those bell schedules so that you had enough time with your kids for reading and language arts, because that gets cut a lot of times. But also that common plan and building that like relationship. We've talked about that, how important relationships are with students, giving time for that.
Yeah. Well,
Because then kids will be successful.
that's what we did extremely well.
Yeah.
We did things that, this was early 2000s. So we were using online curricula, like I think we used Aurora, I think we used Alex, I think we used Read 180.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So the kids had access to the curriculum
Yeah.
at home or in the classroom.
You kind of almost did like a what you could use like for homeschool, like that kind of stuff. But then you used what you knew as an educator to enhance it.
But every single day we met and we talked about students and what they were struggling with, and whether it's behavior, whether it was
so cool.
academics. We did some stuff that in hindsight, probably illegal.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder
probably
about
did
some
some-
thing like you'd have to run by, I mean, it was okay then, but nowadays I don't know how much it would be. Did kids ever exit this like wing, or like did they ever like do so well that you were like you're mainstream now? Or did they just stay?
That's a good question. I know, obviously, 8th graders, when we took them in as 8th graders, because we were a 2-grade building,
Yeah.
they didn't come back because then they were on to the high school.
Okay.
But 7th grade, that's a good question. I can't recall.
Oh, okay.
But we did, we were all about, okay, what's outside of the box that might work?
Yeah.
That we could try here. And I'll tell you one of the things which, once again, in hindsight, I don't know if we should have done. Every quarter, we had a day where students, because all of the curricula was web-based, they could access it from home. So we would have a conference day each quarter. So we would get to the school at like 7 in the morning and stay till 8 or 9 at night.
Oh wow.
But we made it fun. We brought crock pots, we brought food,
Oh, wow.
we brought all that, and we were going to be there. And so whether you worked first, second, or third shift,
Yeah.
we were there for like 14 hours.
And
So
were
we-
the conferences like with parents to like?
parents.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, parents and guardians.
Okay.
So, and I think one of the things that happened was we won over parents once they realized how much
yeah.
we cared and how much we were doing. Now, there was part of that we did that was probably not on the up and up. So
Yeah.
the deal was, because we thought, if we can have a conversation with mom, dad, parent, guardian.
Just getting them in there.
Just get them in there,
Yeah.
because some of the parents maybe they didn't have the best experience with school.
Yeah, yeah. Those are the parents, like the kids that you need to talk to the parents. They're the ones that don't come in because like they might not have had the best experience. So they don't want to hear, they don't want to hear you say my kid's terrible.
No, and we don't. So anyways, what we did that was right on, thinking outside of the box, but probably not some. So we said, okay, we've got this 12, 15-hour day come in. Well, if you can't make it, then within the next week, now you got to work around our schedule, our regular teaching schedule. So if you can
That's
find,
fair.
okay. So this is where I think lines were crossed. So if you couldn't make it in that week,
Yeah.
then your son or daughter or your child had to work from home until you came and saw us.
Oh, and no offense, but like I don't want to have to manage that like every single day.
Read
That's
into
a great
what
idea.
you want. I think we were only pushed on it like one time.
Yeah.
But once everybody came in, then parents looked forward.
You weren't scary.
No.
Like it was, they probably never wanted their kids to exit this.
No.
Wow. That's really cool. You need to like write all this down and
Well-
box it up and like sell this to other districts.
Well,
I think it's a great idea.
Before we get into what we're going to debate, one thing to add to that story, about 5 years ago. So remember, this is like 2002 to 2006, somewhere in there, maybe a little bit later. So most of these students that I had are now maybe in their 30s.
Yeah.
I was, for a while, I did, as a side hustle, I was an Uber driver. And I picked up somebody late at night out in the New Richmond area. and I was talking to the passenger. She had a smaller child with her, and we're talking, and it ends up she was a student at Winton Woods, and she told me the years.
Oh my gosh.
And so I said, well, I used to teach there, and that's all I said. She said, Mr. Clark.
She remembered.
She remembered. She goes, I remember your
voice.
voice.
Do you think she remembered too, just because like it sounds like you guys were like a family, a community, just what you just described about your perfect school, this open community.
I was taking her to her mom's place.
Wow.
And she called her mom and said, Mom, you're not going to believe who my Uber driver is. It's Mr. Clark. Oh, he was too nice to you. I can't believe it.
Oh,
he
my
should have been.
gosh.
So I hugged her.
That's very cool.
So.
All right. Well, I mean, this is it.
Let's talk about let's debate a little bit.
So we can dream all day. Mm-hmm. So what would you do? Should we fix the system that we have in place right now with schools, or completely start over?
All right, for sake of debate, I'll be the fixer, you be the dreamer.
Well, after your story, I'm the dreamer, because I'm going to burn it down. Not really burn it down, but like I want to do what you did. So I think start over, which is kind of big for me to say, because I'm the big curriculum, instruction, not that you're not, but social studies isn't like, I'm very passionate about data and testing and all those things, but I say start over. But go ahead. What are you going to fix?
So I'm going to be team fix it.
Okay.
All right. Schools are the anchors of our communities. Starting over sounds attractive. We got millions of kids who need education today. We have the infrastructure. We have traditions, which some are good. And we have equity protections built into the law that took decades to fight for. If we blow it all up, who gets left behind? I say we renovate, not bulldoze.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say bulldoze, because I think that the way that we were teaching kids years ago, we were training them for roles and positions and in companies and factories, and nowadays it's not that. Kids are more creative. We have AI in the picture. We have technology. I say start over and create this. Now I think it doesn't need to be all technology, but letting kids be what they want to be and drive their own instruction. I've always been a huge proponent of letting kids drive their own instruction with parameters in place. But I think creating this building of like learning and curiosity and art and community involvement and all those things into a school.
Well, I'm going to have an epic fail moment here because I'm supposed to debate you on this and I can't.
As soon as I said it, you know that's like how cool that would be.
So when you think about, and I think it's a dated term, when you think about things called 21st century skills, I mean, I think we're far past that. But when you think about what companies are looking for today, it's not somebody that knows how to regurgitate a mathematical formula. It's who can be creative, who can be innovative, who can design,
personable,
who
be
can
able
be
to
personable,
talk to somebody,
who can present and share. So I think some of the more valuable traits schools can help to encourage the growth and expansion of fall more into those buckets than they do some of the ways that we maybe traditionally did things.
And unfortunately, like we've discussed in many of our past episodes, we don't have that anymore. We are so hung up on testing and data. I like to analyze it, but we're so hung up on all that stuff. What curriculum we should use, what reading level they are, what score do they get, how many words can they read a minute, are they phonetically spelling correctly, all these things. What's their RIT score, what's their OST score, are they proficient, are they advanced? At the end of the day, I don't think that all that matters. I cannot think that when I interviewed for any of my jobs that I said, well, in 4th grade, I scored a 702, and then in 8th grade, I was da-da-da. They don't care.
Nope. They do not.
It's more about I was able to offer my creativity or my curiosity or my ability to speak to people. So I think that that's the future of tomorrow. I think that's our perfect school.
I agree. So we always try to give you a try this tomorrow.
So don't blow the school down.
So what I'm going to tell you is do not show up tomorrow with a bulldozer saying I'm here to start building this over.
I'm not going to give you all the listings of the buildings in Hamilton that are available right now for you to start your own school, although I'd love to.
So how do you embody that start from scratch when you go into work tomorrow? So I'm going to use one example. This is called the blank 5-page protocol.
Okay.
Okay? So this is just something that you could try. So
Okay.
hypothetically, you take the last 10 minutes of class, hand every student a blank index card or sticky note. Ask them one single question. Quote, if you were the teacher and you had to teach the Civil War, mitosis, meiosis, whatever linear equations, to a new student, you're giving this to your students, if you had to teach this concept, how would you do it so it wasn't so boring?
Huh.
Have you ever had a kid say, school is boring, your
Yeah,
class
yeah.
is boring, this is boring?
I used to kind of do that with some of my kids that I was trying to challenge, like the ones that I felt like I would like ask them to teach a lesson.
Yep.
But that, giving it to the whole class to kind of come up with ideas, I think that's amazing.
So instead of rebuilding the entire school, try rebuilding a lesson.
Rebuilding a lesson.
Yep.
One thing I did, we talked about this today, one year, not 1 year, I did it several years, but third quarter, I let the kids pick how they want the desks arranged in the classroom. I told them I don't care. They could pick pods, they could be, and they just look at you like you're nuts, like you're really
like,
allowing
you're seriously
this?
gonna let us do this?
And I did, and they got to create the environment. So if you didn't want to sit with people and you wanted to face the wall because it was too stimulating, I had students who did that. I had students that sat in groups. I had, believe it or not, I never really had anybody like sit like friends, like all the friends sat here. One year they created a U, like a horseshoe. And so and I do it for a quarter, and usually it's around third quarter, but it gives them like the autonomy to create the room and create the space, and it always worked really well for me.
And
so that might be.
You never had one of those like, oh no.
Not really that I can remember, and I think it's because I let them do and make the decision, and I put it on them. But that's another way to kind of recreate.
And you
the
probably
space.
had structures in place.
I already had structure. Yeah, I did. But that's not a bad restart.
No, I think that's a great
those
idea.
are two good try it for tomorrow.
So rebuild your seating arrangement or rebuild your lesson.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll lead to rebuilding the entire school. So,
yeah. So I guess we're not going to create our own school, but yet, maybe.
I still think that's something that
I think it could be.
I don't think that ship has sailed yet, and I still have a whole cohort of people that I know I could go to and say, let's do it now. They might say yes. I don't know.
I have an administrative license. I could do it. It could be. So if you have any more tips and ideas on how to create a school and what you want to do, we'd love to hear from you. So leave us a comment.
It's okay to dream.
Yeah, it's okay,
to
dream.
think outside the box.
Absolutely.
It's okay to try stuff.
Yeah. So join us next time.